Today is the deadline for the registration of Spaza Shops. In November last year, President Cyril Ramaphosa ordered the registration of the businesses in response to issues of food safety. This followed cases related to food poisoning in which at least 20 children died. On December the 18th, Ramaphosa extended the registration period deadline to today. Co-operative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa says the deadline will not be extended again.
There will be no extension, but anyone who will miss today can still go on Monday going forward to municipalities to apply, but not operating in a spaza shop or a food handling outlet. There was ample time. The extension from December, not to end of January, but to end of February. 2 months full after the festive season, whatever logistical issue that a person might raise. But a person who decided yesterday to go and register just a day before the deadline will say there are logistical problems. I was at Tshwane yesterday in the city where they informed me that the flow of people has been very low from January up to now. A big chunk was before the first deadline of 21 days. Now, people who will decide to go to the registration today, they will make a call for the extension, and if you can respond to their call, you will never have it right. The best way, those who have applied, they know that they are the right people to operate the spaza shops. People who have not come forth, the majority of them, is because they know they are not going to be operating the spaza shops. They will be fronting, and there will be no room for fronting. A person who applied is the one who will use the spaza shop or the food handling outlet to operate.
You heard the minister speak about Tshwane there, where he was yesterday. Let's take you to Tshwane, where we find my colleague Patricia, who's on standby to wrap the day for us. Patricia, good afternoon to you. It's a deadline today, and I wonder what the general sentiment from some of the spaza shop owners is on the ground.
Well, Bongi, as we expected, mixed reactions from those who obviously are tasked to do this very important process of ultimately making sure that their spaza shops or their businesses that are obviously operating with food, small business outlets in the sector that now have to make sure that they are compliant. So some of them welcome this call. We heard a lot of positive reactions of people who are saying that they understand the core behind this particular call, and they've actually been advocating for this for a very long time, saying that this would ultimately also help in terms of revitalizing the township economy, which you would understand is now at the center of economic growth and job creation in the country. So there's that group that says that they understand, and they also are talking about some of the malfeasance that they have observed over the years in terms of that particular sector, highlighting some of the concerns around the spaza shops. And then those who also poured out their sympathies and the trauma that hit the country after the food poisoning incidents, obviously last year, where several children had to pay the ultimate price. So you've got that group, and then you've got another group that are not so happy. These are the people who feel that it was, a very texting process. Some of them saying that they didn't understand so well what was needed. And you have those who simply waited until the 11th hour, who are under pressure and didn't come with the right documentation. So you've got that mixed reaction. And then there are those who are saying that they don't have money, and now they are required to have certain specifications within the bound of the law where certain requirements of the shops that they're operating under need to be met, saying that they don't have the money for the rezoning and some of the adjustments that they have to make. But of course, we know that there are provisions for grants that are made once they obviously meet all the requirements, and they can apply for funds that have been made available. So that is catered for, but it seems like there is still a little bit of mixed information that's hitting the ground. Some people that don't have the correct information, some of them that are acting out of panic, but the vast majority of them said they understand this and they think that this is a call in the right direction. But of course we understand that for those who did not do the right thing, there are still a few hours left, as the online applications are still an option that they can still consider until midnight, of course tonight, when that final tally will ultimately drop and they will no longer be able to do the registrations, as of course the 28th of February would ultimately close at midnight. So there's that group that can still use the online applications as the physical ones. You'd understand this time of the day, it's Friday, the municipal offices have closed. And just another one that's very important, and that is from the MMC for Economic Development and Spatial Planning, and that is Cyril Ramaphosa, who again, just appealed on everybody to make sure that they operate within the bounds of the law, saying that there will be no mercy shown to those who might be assisting illegal migrants to register their shops, saying that there will be full investigations. All these applications will be fully scrutinized to make sure that they meet all the legal requirements in order to make sure that these businesses are legit and they are compliant. So she has appealed on everyone who registers that please respect the law and do not register a business on somebody else's behalf. She's also appealed on officials to not accept bribes, as that might compromise the whole process and ultimately might cause bigger problems for many people in that space. And earlier we also spoke to the civic organization SANCO, who also added their voice, as they've been very active on the ground, monitoring the whole process, engaging with some of the Spaza shop owners to hear their concerns. And SANCO was ultimately saying that those who have come to them, asked and lobbied for another extension, that is uncalled for. They feel that everybody got enough time. If you just count that this was about 4 months or 3 months, just over 3 months that they got to register their businesses, saying that if you did not do the right thing within the bounds of these 3 months, then ultimately you have yourself to blame, as government gave everybody enough time and there was enough information available. And if you didn't know what to do, you could have gone to the various municipal offices to get the correct information. Social media was also leading with a lot of information that the various Spaza shop owners or those who are interested to enter the space could have familiarized themselves in terms of what is needed, what's required to effect these registrations. So SANCO was ultimately saying that from their point of view, having scanned the ground, they satisfied with how the process unfolded. Of course, you would understand with a process of this magnitude, first of its kind in a democratic South Africa, you are not going to please everybody, and there are going to be challenges here and there, but ultimately from their side, they're saying that they feel that everything was done correctly. And those who ultimately were not helped, they will just have to utilize the other application processes that are left moving forward. But most importantly, if you are operating from tomorrow on and you are not registered, then the law will come for you. That's the other message from the Tshwane MMC, saying that they will leave no stone unturned. They will be going to these different shops and they will be doing the necessary inspections to make sure that everybody that is operating from tomorrow is compliant and is operating within the bound of the law. Studio.
Thank you very much, Patricia, for wrapping the day for us. That's my colleague, Patricia Visagie, there, wrapping the Tshwane leg of the Spaza shop registration process.